Welcome to the Knowledge Point IT viewers. Today we are going to learn the basic of networking components. In our previous playlist, we learned about the basic computer components. Here we are going to learn about the networking components. Let's move to our today's topic. Today we are going to focus on the following things such as introduction for networking and components, list of basic networking components, brief about each components. We are going to learn the advantage and the functions of each networking components. Then we are going to compare each of the networking components. Then we go through the little bit of summary according to the above 5 topics. First, we move and see what is network component. Actually, you are all using the internet connection because you are using the mobile phones. Through your mobile phones, you are connected through the internet. If you have any internet connection, you can't access the Facebook or the YouTube or any social media such as WhatsApp, Insta. So, you need an internet connection. Actually, the internet connection is one set of the network because it's created and communicated each of the computers within a minute. So, according to the network connection, we are getting the details and up to date without the delay. So, the network component is a device which helps to connect our devices and helps to get the internet connection. So it is called the communication device because according to the network connection only we are getting the communication, which means we can send a message to our friends or relatives via the Facebook or the social media such as WhatsApp, because we can call to our relatives via the WhatsApp call or the normal conference calls, because actually we are getting those kind of facilities through the internet connection. So it's used to connect computer or electronic device. We are using the electronic devices. So the network component helps to connect the computer or electronic device. Mostly we are using the local area network, that is the LAN. Which means in our geographical area, we are using the networking component to connect several devices. Actually, this picture shows we are accessing the internet connection through the router. You have already know about how can we get the internet connection. When we are using the mobile phone, we can use the mobile network connection via any of the SIM, Airtel or Dialog, or any of the SIM such as Hutch. When you are at home, you can access the wireless routers, access the Wi-Fi. So the router provides the internet connection. So as per this, we are connecting several kind of computers for the network connection, and we are connecting those routers and computers, the intermediary switch. Let me see what is switch. Switch is also the network component and the hub is also the network component. And bridge also the third network component. Let me see in the upcoming session. Here we can classify the network components into two categories. They are hardware component and the software component. Actually, those are the list of the basic networking components or a device today we are going to learn. They are hub and repeater, switch, router, cables, bridges, NIC, network interface card, and the modem. You can understand the concept But understand the idea about the networking devices by visualize those pictures. Let me see what is hub. Actually, hub can be classified into three types. They are active hub, passive hub, and intelligent hub. Why does we need hub in networking? You might have a question in your mind. Actually, the hub connects the devices such as the computer. Actually, when we are accessing the internet connection, we are request the server. The server sends the response to the client. Actually, the users are the client. We are requesting the server to getting the response. So the server send the data. The send the data and the receive data actually happens through the hub during the internet connection, which means hub plays the major role as a centralized device. We are using the centralized device during the internet connection, that is the hub. Here we can connect the hub through several kind of connection diagram. We can name those connection by the appearance. You can see here the PCs and the printers and the hub all are connected as a star model. So we can put the name as a star topology. We can call it as star topology. And here also you can identify this is the main cable. Here upon this main cable we are connecting several computers by the sub cables, which picture shows we can identify the tree has several branches because the main cable is considered as the main root of the tree, and here we are classify the each branches of the tree. So here in each branch we are using the separate hubs. So it's like the tree. That's why we call tree topology. And here also we are using the bus topology. Here we are using the only hub, and here in each node, start node and end point, we are connecting the large number of PCs and servers. So it's like a bus stop. That's why we are called the bus topology. Let me move and discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using hub. Actually, hub provide an extended network physical distance, because when we are connecting the network devices we need so much of cable, but we are connecting the hub reduce the expensive to purchase the cables, because the hub considered as a centralized device and not affect the network performance. When we are connecting those network devices through the hub, which not affect the network performance. But when we consider the disadvantages, the hub can't connect different network architectures, and also it can't reduce network traffic. Network traffic, which means the collusion. And also hub broadcast used all ports, and it allows only half duplex. Half duplex, which means when we are communicating with the server and the client, at the time only the server send the message, at the time only the receiver send the message. The both sender and receivers couldn't contact or communicate in the same time. That is the problem That's why it runs only half duplex. It's like when we are talking with walkie-talkie, only the speaker, the right side of the speaker can says speak with him or her. After that, only the another speaker speak towards him or her. That's why that is the disadvantage. And hub has ports shares up to 10 megabits per second of bandwidth, and it has only 4 ports. That is the limitation. And those are the main functions. Those are conducted by the hub. Passive hubs simply transmit and receive the data from the end devices and connect it to the LAN. But here the active hubs receive the data, then strengthen the signal by amplifying and make the data packet easier to read. Also, the intelligent hubs, the main function of this intelligent hub is to monitor and the traffic with LAN due to their processing functions. Those are the functions of hubs. Let me learn about the switch. We can classify the switch into 2 types, that is layer 2 and layer 3. The layer means the OSI model layer. As per the OSI model layer, we can classify the switch into 2 types. Path transmission mode used in switch. We are using several transition mode used in switch. Actually, the functions held by the switch, that is forward message to the specific host. We can forward the message to the specific host and receive the frame and read the MAC address of each pieces. And here this is the diagram. You can identify here this is the switch. It has several ports. We can connect this to the access point, which means we are accessing through the router gateway, and here we are using the user's PCs, and we are getting the signal from the router, and the access point of the router can be connected to the switch port. And here this is the Cisco packet tracer diagram. Here the both diagram are same. Let me compare both hub and switch. What we have to consider while buying both. Actually, the hub is a layer 1 device, but the switch is layer 2 device. The layer 1 is major on physical layer. Layer 2 is major on data link layer. Hub has multi-port repeater, but switch we are using for the network device and pass information only those device needing. But the hub pass all information received to all connected devices. So it creates unnecessary traffic. But the switch, it avoids the unnecessary traffic. And the networking, the hub used for a smaller network. When we are creating the larger network, we can move to the switch. The function of the hub is connect the network computers to join in a central hub. But when we choose the hub to join multiple computers together with one local area network, and we can use very large scale area network, but we can't use the hub for it, but we can use the switch for it. And we can broadcast the hub for one, but the switch one broadcast domain by default do not break up and broadcast domain. The hub used the broadcast all connected devices, but the switch don't forward packets to other networks like routers. When we compare the both bandwidth, the hub and switch, the switch provide more bandwidth rather than the hub. When we discuss the collision occurs commonly in hub, but switch does not occur the collision. spanning tree. And duplex, it allows half duplex. Hub allows half duplex. Switch allows both half and full duplex. The hub has limitation of the ports up to 12 ports, but switch has up to 48 ports limitation. When we compare the speed, hub has 10 megabit per second, switch used in gigabit per second. Those are the comparison. And here the another component is router. We can classify the router into two categories, that is core router and edge router. And here you can identify how can we connect our PC to the router internet port via the LAN port and the modem. Let's discuss the main function of the router. Router allows the packet forwarding, packet switching and packet filtering. Three are the main features of the function of the router. When we go and consider the advantages of router, we can connect the networks of different architecture through the router. And when we choose best path throughout to a network and create a smaller collision domains when we are connecting through the router. And we can create smaller broadcast domains. But the disadvantage of using router is only work with routable protocols and purchase expensive is more than when we compare to other devices. Routing table updates consume bandwidth, greater degree of packet filtering and analyzing. Those are the disadvantages of using routing. The another device is bridge. We can classify the types of bridge into two categories. They are transparent source and the source routing. How bridge is connected to the LAN. This is the diagram which shows in this table I have given 4 IP addresses. The 4 IP addresses are connected to the different ports. Here this is the diagram that indicates the bridge table. And here I am connecting the 4 PCs in different IP address in different port number. The advantages and disadvantages of bridges, we are using bridge to extend physical network and reduce the network traffic with minor segmentation and create separate collision domains and reduce collisions and connect different architecture. But when we are using the bridge, we can get the slower network and we can't filter broadcast and we need to pay more expensive rather than purchasing the repeaters. The functions of the bridges generate the signals, check source and destination addresses, send the data frames only to the concerned destination. And here, this is the view that shows how to connect your telephone LAN connection to through the filter and your computer through the Ethernet cable. From this picture, you can get the idea to connect your normal internet connection with your computer through the Ethernet cable. Here, another device is network interface card. This card works on layer, that is the physical layer. We are use this card for a local area network. The main function of NICs helps to connect the host through the network medium and carry the unique called as MAC address. And this is the diagram. This shows the IP network. We are connecting those kind of devices to our organization. cable. We can classify the cable into 4 categories. They are unshielded, shielded, coaxial cable, fiber optical. Actually, we are using several kind of network components, but to connect the several network components, we need a cable. So those are the types of cables. The functions of the cable is cable considered as a transmission medium, and it allows the data to transmit. This is the way to connect your cable through your ports. And this is the comparison between fiber optic cabling, unshielded coaxial cabling. We can classify by the bandwidth, typical use, benefits, and the limitations. In this video, we get the idea about the networking components and the networking devices, and the main classification of the networking devices and the OSI layer, about the local area network, and we understand each component. It has unique functions. When we are connecting the networking, we need to consider several things. So we visualize the diagrams and the pictures, how we are going to connect our networking devices to our computer. And also we learn how should we aware to when we are purchasing to those kind of components, and we have to consider some features. Thanks for your support, and thanks for viewing this video, and please contribute in future also.